Hey, how you doing?
Going out there, Mom. Are you?
I'm good.
I was hoping I could pick your brain here on a few things.
Yeah, whatever
Not
you
as a
need.
senior, but as former chief of police.
All right. What's going on?
I'm dealing with a bit of a tough situation here. Has there been any talk about
Talk about what?
hmm, uh has there been any talk about Maxwell at all that you've heard?
Nothing. I mean,
Okay.
you have to forgive me. I pretty much just come on duty on like Saturdays and Sundays. So, I haven't heard anything. What's going on with Maxwell?
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask that this conversation stays between you and me, all right?
Of course.
Okay.
I won't talk to Eric about it or anything.
Appreciate it. I believe he was present, but I prefer to get your point of view on the situation here.
All right. What happened?
So, well, I'm trying to think. I guess we're going to give you the whole lead up to it. Uh, there was a situation where a cadet and Peters was setting up for a raid. This is going to stay fairly generic, just to keep it shorter than an hour here. Peters and Cadet were setting up to do a raid. They went to the house. The cadet went up to the door, unlocked the door, not knowing he had keys for it, master key for it. Suspects were outside, witnessed it, opened fire on officers, turned into a big shooting, big situation. They're wanting to sue for rights violation. Ultimately, he manipulated the lock, which will result in a rights violation. We settled it out of court. However, we ended up meeting one day with some seniors, some sergeants. I don't think we had a lieutenant there. One or two seniors, couple sergeants. The seniors were directly involved, sergeants, as well as Peters, Trigg, myself, Maxwell. They ended up bringing a whole lot of people into this conversation to sort out if there was a rights violation, number one, and number two, what would be a reasonable number to pay out here instead of getting drugged through the mud in courts, or if it'd be worth taking to court and fighting it. During the conversation, Maxwell was trying to gather some information, and you know, frankly, we had explained. I shouldn't say we. Peters had explained what exactly transpired. Opal was explaining what transpired a few times. There's a couple times where things start to go off track. And the first time was while Maxwell was talking. Peters said, "Let's get back on track. We're going off track." Happened a second time while Maxwell was talking. Peter said, "Let's get it back on track." Maxwell snapped back, said, "You obviously don't want my opinion if you keep cutting me off, things like that." She said I believe Peters responded with, I don't appreciate the attitude. She turned around and started walking out. I asked her to stay there, not to leave the meeting, and let's get this sorted out. She responded with, "No, I, I don't need this attitude, or I believe it was something along the lines of I don't need that attitude." Peter sent her off duty. Peter sent her a text saying, "You can't come on duty until you talk to myself and the chief," which I agreed with.
Mm.
From my point of view, which I want to hear
Mm-hmm.
yours before I give you mine, but I agreed with. She ended up being off duty until Friday due to scheduling, getting both Peters and Maxwell there. Had the conversation finally with her myself. Now, let if I could get your opinion from here right now. What's your opinion of the situation? Maybe I could fill some gaps if you have it.
Um, did this all happen in front of other people?
Yes.
In front of subordinates, like you said sergeants and seniors?
Yes.
Uh, what was she talking about? Like, what was she talking about that caused Peters to say that you were up? Was it like off topic or?
I don't I don't recall exactly the question. I believe it was on topic for gathering information of the situation to some extent. Uh, my understanding is, I believe we established already that there was a violation, and
So
now we're
she
trying
was
to figure
just
out a
trying
payout.
to kind of get more information about the situation.
That's what she's claiming. Yeah.
Um, hmm. Hmm. So I could kind of, I guess, see it from both sides. The thing about Maxwell is a bulldog when it comes to her officers. She will fight tooth and nail for them. Sometimes to a fault. Um, but the intention is there. Even if it's not always right. Um, but I like that about her. But Peters is similar. They are similar. Peters and Maxwell, and I don't know if you remember, but that was one of the concerns about Maxwell and Peters both being in high command, and that was something that Peters brought up. Was that that essentially they were going to butt heads, but I think when it comes down to it, Maxwell making kind of a scene out of all of it in front of everyone else wasn't okay. The whole idea of like high command, right, is that you all need to be like a united front, no matter what. It has to be like the us and everyone else. And publicly, like privately, y'all can go to town and have your fights and whatever, but publicly you need to be an us and or a we. Her being what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word. It's where you don't listen to your superiors. Insubordinate.
Insubordinate? Yeah.
Maxwell being insubordinate, even if she does feel slighted in some way, is just not acceptable behavior. But did Peters do anything publicly, like on his end? Like, did he?
Well, I mean, during that meeting, Peter said, "Let's keep it on track," and she said, "You're just gonna cut me off every time I talk, then I'm not gonna talk. You don't even need me here then." And that's when Peter's responded with, I don't need this kind of attitude.
Yeah, I mean,
There's
I'm
definitely a
always
back and forth.
I'm kind of always of the mindset that you do those kind of things in private. Like maybe he should have pulled her aside, or Maxwell should have pulled him aside. But at the end of the day, I mean, he's the assistant chief, and she's a captain. She reports directly to him, and she can't be insubordinate to him in front of sergeants and seniors. What kind of precedent does that set? If she's doing it, why can't they? Right? It just it's not a good look.
Seems we're on the same page so far. Same mindset, same approach that I've taken so far. Is that frankly, Peter shouldn't have blown up on her like that, or said what he said in front of everyone, because that demeans her as well.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, she certainly should not have said the things she said and then told me no. She's claiming she didn't hear me. She was standing right in front of me. She heard me clear as day. Now, whether she was too...
It sounds like just her ego,
That's what I'm leaning towards, but obviously I'm not going to tell her that. We're on the same page here, at least for now. Now, I had that meeting with her yesterday. She wasn't happy. She's obviously agreeing with things that you can tell by tone she wasn't in agreement with, but didn't want to contest it at that moment.
Do you think she learned from it?
No, I don't.
Ooh. So I guess my question to you would be, looking at like the bigger picture, right? Is can you get back to the we? The we are our united high command.
Can I? Yes. I don't know if she can. I guess that's time we'll have to show
But
that, right?
by you, I mean like all of you. Like, can you all get back to this united high command, or is this going to cause bigger issues in the future, or can you express that to her that, hey, this happened, what have you learned from it, and can you get past it?
Well, I think those would be some good questions to bring up. I also don't think I should bring those up right now because that conversation already happened, right? Like beating a dead horse, you bring him back into a meeting after you've cleared him to get back on duty.
I suppose. So what are you struggling with then?
Well, so that's the next part here. The day she was sent off duty, it was overheard that a couple officers from another captain were talking quite strongly on the phone with someone presumed to be Maxwell based on what was spoken about. That's fine. People are going to have questions. People are wondering what's going on. We're not divulging it, so they're going to go to the source. I heard about that through, like I said, another captain. Didn't hear anything else about it. Yesterday, had a conversation. I was walking up the stairwell. I stopped, checked my phone right by a door, which at the exact same time, Opal was on the other side. She said something along the lines of, "You're the glue that keeps the shift together, shift one together, or you keep the shift together," or something like that. And then said, "I don't give a fuck what the chief thinks." I asked her who she was speaking with. She said it was probably Maxwell, because this was 4 or 5 hours later.
Opal said it was probably Maxwell.
She said, "I don't know, but it might have been Maxwell. Probably Maxwell." Yeah.
I see. You spoke. I see. I thought you meant in that moment, like she was being cheeky. No. I was like, oh, that's kind of funny.
Then I spoke to Radich, asked if he had any phone calls with Maxwell and if this was something she brought up with him. He said yes. I asked about some of the details. And some of those details are being skewed. Some of those details are not exactly what happened. She stated she didn't have time to talk. She didn't have time to explain her situation, how she felt about it, but she did all of that. Now, my worrisome part here is that she's going around creating some sort of divide here, which is extremely problematic. And where I'm lost here is how do I go about this? I mean, I think Maxwell brings a lot to the table. I think she does a great job. But she can't be going around doing that if she is. And she obviously has to learn from the situation.
All right. I am going to give you some advice that I did not listen to when I was chief, and I regret it. I think I already have given you this advice, but I'll just say it again. You need your high command to back you. 100%. If they're shit talking, if you feel like they're not 100% pushing forward the vision that you want to see, they shouldn't be your high command. It's as simple as that. I should have removed Sky from being high command, because she was not she was not in my court, if you will. There were people in command that I should have removed, but I didn't because I was too nice and trying to give everybody the benefit of the doubt constantly. Things move too fast. This kind of thing festers extremely quickly, and if it's happening now, it's going to happen again. Especially, you know, I like Maxwell, I do, but Maxwell is a bit of a hothead. Peters was right, and you know, she's very set in her ways.
Sounds like I need to lay it all out for her.
You need to, like, did you say air it out? 'Cause
lay it all out.
Yeah, I think you do. I think you need to have a very frank conversation with her, and find out, like, really where her head is at. But at the end of the day, you need to put together a team that is the best for the department and the best to see your vision through.
Yep, absolutely.
I wish I had been better about that. I was trying to make everybody happy, and in turn, I don't think I did what was right for the department at times because of that.
Yeah.
It's hard, though. It's hard, you know, because these are, you know, they're people with feelings, right? But
without a doubt, and that's honestly that's not the part that worries me. It's a part that I do think she's the best at many of those caps that she wears for shift one. I believe she's good in many of those areas. There's some critical fail points that are starting to come to light. I think that needs to get addressed with her. You put it on the table.
yeah, you just got to make sure that she is on your side, you know, that she's working with you and not against you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know, just talk to her. It's tough. I hope that was offered some, you know, the insight. I had to deal with that a lot. Just people constantly talking and having opinions.
Yeah, that's there's a lot of talking. A lot of people like to gossip, air out their grievances with other officers, other people. Maybe a little too much here, but it's just the environment we're in. So
Yeah. I think you'll be able to navigate this. But at the end of the day, remember why you're here. Remember what you want to do, and just always have that, you know, in the back of your mind when making those kind of decisions.
yeah, absolutely.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm you know, it's Peters has been a bit MIA lately, so I'd be talking to Peters, but it's always nice to have a former chief of police who's dealt with this exact department, you know, and people in it.
Yeah.
To either reinforce or change my mind on things and get a different perspective of. I think we're pretty actually online though. Just I guess reinforcing my thoughts there. I do appreciate the conversation.
Yeah, anytime. Anytime you ever need to talk about something, if I can offer advice, happy to.
Absolutely. I got your number.
Yeah.
I will. Appreciate you, Moss.
All right. Well, just holler if you need anything.
do.
Just remember, you're doing a very good job. You should be
Appreciate
you should be very proud of what you've done so far.
Thank you.
I know it's a lot of work and a lot of time, but it's paying off, okay?